Everybody, everybody, oh my God, you're not gonna believe the video I got today. I'm an ordinary guy doing extraordinary things, and it's not me telling the story. I give it to you straight from the people who know. How about this? I call it straight no chaser. It's gonna blow your mind what we talking about today. I mean, a lot of them blow your mind. This one gonna blow your mind for sure, because the last one blew your mind for sure. You on Strong Inspirations, where Black history lives. I'm Anthony Brogdon. I'm gonna let the guy who's my guest introduce himself, but let me tell you one more thing. Please do this. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button so you can like this video. Hit my notifications button so you get a little bing every time I put a new video up. And I do quite a few videos a week because there's so much content out there. And tell somebody about Strong Inspirations. Everybody, you know, I got a movie out. It's called Business in the Black, The Rise of Black Business in America. It's on Amazon, talking about slaves going to college and how they learn how to read and write. And our next guest, we talk about their school in my movie and in my book, Black Business Book, which got over 200 facts on Black history. And one of the facts is about our guest and where he attended school. See, now in 1909, I'm gonna let him tell the history, but this is kind of what I know. In 1909, there was a Black guy by the name of Dr. Laurence C. Jones. He had a PhD. He wanted to learn how, he didn't want to learn how, he already knew. He wanted to teach other Blacks, which are really kind of former slaves and whatnot, and get them a quality education. So he started a boarding school in Piney Woods, Mississippi. That's what I know. And I got some other stories. One of the stories was there was one night the white folks got so mad at him, they wanted to lynch him. He was so smooth, he talked them out of lynching him, and they gave him donations for the school. We're going to see if that's the right, true or not. But nonetheless, I present to you Strong Inspirations. I got a guest on. Sir, tell us your name and a little bit about you.
My name is Roosevelt Sykes, Jr. I'm 72 years old, and I'll share a story with y'all that years ago, back in the 60s, I'm actually from Essequibo County in Mississippi, and we got thrown out of school in Rolling Fork High School because we was wearing this button by Stokely Carmichael, "You're Black and You're Proud." And that's when I had an opportunity to meet Fannie Lou Hamer and Ralph Abernathy. Then when we was going to school at Rose Hill Church in Essequibo County, over there. And that year when it passed by, my uncle, Silas O'Neill, used to be the athletic director at Piney Woods School. And one Saturday, I'll never forget it, he brought Dr. Jones up to the farm at home. And you remember years ago, the farm used to be 60-40. And you realize what I mean by 60-40 over there. They own 6%, we own 40% over there. I never forget it, just as clear as yesterday. Dr. Jones came that evening about 2 o'clock. We was out in the field picking cotton. And he's just a simple man. And when he came along and my uncle brought him out in the field, I had my sack, and would you believe it, I got that sack today, locked up in my attic that I was picking cotton in. And Dr. Jones picked cotton along with me and handed me the cotton and put in my sack. And I was telling about what I had went through. And he stopped me and said, "Young man, let me tell you something. Though you got out of school to help your family on the farm and stuff," he said, "but no matter what you do, if you don't finish college or what, go back to school and take your trade up or go on to college." And I didn't pay any attention to it. About The week after he left, I was out in the field picking cotton.
Okay, let me stop you right there. How old are you right there? How old is this? When is this?
That was back in the 60s, and I was about 14 years old, a little
Okay,
older.
I got you.
And never forget it. That week passed, and I thought about what Dr. Jones said. I was out there in the field picking cotton, and I thought about what he said. And I decided I went to bed that night, and would you believe it? I dreamed about that, Dr. Jones. And so the next day, I got up, got out in the field. I told my daddy and mother I decided to go back to school. I didn't want to go back while enrolling for high school. And so my uncle talked to me and said, well, why don't you come to Piney Woods School? And what I did, my family, back in those days, you didn't have as much. I couldn't go to school that, schools usually start in September. I had to stay at home and help get the cotton crop out and everything. And the next year, and I never forget it. My daddy and mama, Roosevelt Sykes Jr. and Pauline Sykes, I never forget it. They told me, said, they used to call me Squeaky at home. That was my nickname. And they
Okay.
said, you're not even up, you can't go to school now because we got to get this cotton out. So that's January. My uncle came and picked me up and brought me to Piney Woods School. I never forget it. Just as clear as yesterday.
Wow.
And for a young Delta boy from Essequibo County that never had been above Vicksburg, when I got to Vicksburg, we was riding the car, and I never forget it. Looked like I was going into another world. I didn't know nothing about going up to a big city like. And so we passed by Vicksburg and got to Pontywood School. That it was on a Sunday evening over there, and by the grace of God, when I got up on campus and I was looking around. These guys was there, and my uncle had told them that he had a nephew that was going to come here was a great football player. That's when Pontywood had football, and and you would believe it. I only played football a little at home over there. As I
Okay.
got to Pontywood a day, and just as clear as yesterday, I never forget it. My uncle had prepared lunch for me, and I never forget it was rice, uh, chicken and gravy and biscuit. I
Right,
never
right.
forget it. And that evening, later on that evening, he took me to the dormitory. And that time when we was having chapel at Piney Woods School, had
Right.
guests was coming. And the guy named Mr. Kaplan was over the dormitory. And as my uncle brought me down, I was sitting on the step in the dormitory, waiting on the kids coming from out of the chapel. And I saw a bunch of kids coming out of chapel. The young boy was scared.
Yeah.
That was at that time was grown men there. My uncle had told a guy by the name of Pee Wee, and then the other guy we used to call him Jolly Green Giant to look after me that night. On why I
Wow.
cried like a baby, had never been away from home.
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you this. Now this hold on, this is different than Pineywood though. Why are you I mean, didn't they have a cotton gin? Why are you picking cotton? What why do
now
when they have a
listen
machine
at
to
me.
pick cotton?
Listen, back in those days, you had a cotton gin, but you didn't have cotton pickers. The cotton pickers was us. You got it? We hold cotton. We pick cotton in the Delta. The first cotton picker came along was a one row cotton picker on it.
Really?
And back in those times, you used to had the first picking and the second picking. Now, we didn't got more modern now.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what you had. We
Okay.
didn't got more modern now. And you ever heard of back in those days you had to scrap the cotton behind a one row cotton picker because the picker didn't pick it clean. So
Now
it was amazing.
wasn't picking cotton, didn't you get your hands messed up because of the
No,
corn?
hey,
I'm on
wait a
picking
minute.
cotton.
Wait a minute. Uh-uh. You got adjusted to that. Do you know when I was picking cotton, I was getting $2 a hundred? My mama them told me I was getting 200 pounds a day.
And that's a
Oh,
lot, right?
that's a lot. And guess what? For the cotton open when you was hoeing cotton, guess how much you get a day? $3 a day from sun up to sundown.
Whoa.
That's that's what we all went through over there. But else modernization came along, you don't have to pick cotton. You don't have to scrap it no more. You only pick it one time now. You got 4 and 5 row cotton pickers now. But I was getting back to Dr. Jones.
Yeah. Right. So let me ask you a question. So you go to Piney Woods School. Um, it's an all boys school,
No, it's boys and girls.
boys and girls.
And at that time we was Pinewood went all the way from kindergarten to junior college. Oh, and at that time you was motivated. People, the teachers motivate you to do things. And I never forget it. The girls had blue blouse, blue dresses and white blouse. We we as the boys had khaki uniform, and then when you took the tie up on it in the second button, and we felt proud over there. But Dr. Jones was a man that taught you say have respect for yourself, have respect for others. Well, no harm in saying yes, ma'am, no, sir, because what he taught us was have a common courtesy for yourself.
Right.
Have respect for yourself.
Right.
Other people will respect you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that. So now hold on, let me
Other
ask you this.
people
So
like
now you get to the campus, you're about what, 12 years old, you say?
no, I was approximately about 14 or 15.
14, 15. Had you
And
had you gone to school? So what grade did that put you
yeah,
in?
when I came to Pineywood, I left from Rolling Fork School. I was actually in the 8th grade. But I was motivated when I got to Pineywood. I made 2 grades in one year. Pineywood went all year round, all year round.
Mm.
And at Pineywood, they had the farm, everything. But when I first came to Pineywood, I was working in the print shop. They know how you do print and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
That's why they put me at it. And I never forget one summer after that, uh, I was transferred to the farm. And how that happened was the guy that was driving tractor on the farm, the student he had got sick. My uncle one told them, say, I got a nephew that he come off the farm. He used to drive tractors and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how I got transferred from the print shop to the farm.
Okay, let me ask you this question. So now you get to Pineywood. What time does school start? And what
All
time
right,
does it
in
end?
the morning, guess what? You had to get up at 5 o'clock in the
Whoa.
morning, make your bed up, and it was checked. Make your bed up.
Was it a room? Was it like a room with a whole bunch of students living in the
Nope, there
same
was three
room?
of
Or
us
you
in a
had
room. There was no door. There was curtain. You had lockers. While you hang your clothes there, no lock on it. But the honor stuff, you respect your roommate. The only thing that you had a lock on was a foot locker that you had to lock on. That you keep your personal item like your toothbrush and stuff like that on it.
yeah.
You respect each other on it. That's what it was about. And that's what they strived into us. Hey, respect yourself and respect others. That's what they strived on.
Okay, let me hold on. So you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock to make you get up and get your shower and get your bed. You went to breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock. But at the same time that we was going to breakfast, we had had a dairy there. Guys would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go to the dairy. Also, and at about 4 o'clock, guys was going to the cafeteria to prepare meals for us. That's what you had.
So
So
now,
they taught you
so you get up at 5 in the morning. You get up. What time does class start?
Oh, class started at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
Okay, so class started at 7. You get lunch at 12.
Hmm. Lunch at 12.
Do you
But
stay when you in class? Do you stay in the same room or do you
yeah,
transfer
we
to
stayed
different
in the
rooms?
same room. We didn't change like they do today in time. But sometimes we might go to another room, like I got a history teacher. I never forget that history teacher named Mrs. Gillespie. She was from New Orleans, and she taught us about different things of history. And I love her what she taught. Before you go on to the next grade, she taught us how to say the capital, the states. And I never forget when I was there. I didn't study that night before or 2 days before. I'm gonna copy it down. You know how you make copies
Yeah,
and go
yeah.
from Alabama all the way down. And I had my sheet there, and I was ready to turn it in, getting ready to turn it in, and had it all printed out. That lady, she was smart. That's what she did.
Mm-hmm.
She started in the middle.
Oh.
She
So
taught you. Hey, she would start somewhere.
yeah.
And when I first started learning about the capitals, you know what? About a poor young man from the Delta. I always thought I had uncles and nephews come from Chicago. They could leave out there and go to Chicago. I always thought that Chicago was the capital of Illinois.
All
I
right,
got
right.
to Pineywood and found out that Springville, the capital of Illinois.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. So now, where is where is Piney Wood? Is it what city is
It's
it in?
county. Pineywood is in the southern part of Rankin County. Pineywood, you call Pineywood School, Pineywood, Mississippi. It's a little small. The name is a town, Pineywood. The school is a little town.
Now, what else is around the school?
It's just farming areas. You got like Star, Mississippi, up there, just before you get to Pineywood on Highway 49. Below uh, Pineywood, you got Braxton. Then below there, you got Delo. Below that, you got Mendenhall. But
Okay.
the main thing about Pineywood is when you say Braxton, that's one helped the man that had the sawmill, what they call Bell Pine, helped build Pineywood. Yeah.
Okay. Now, was there ever any white students or it's all black?
Well, at that time when I got to Pineywood, we had a lot of Mexican students here.
Oh, really?
Students from Africa, but there was a lot of Mexican students here. That's what you had.
Because they lived in Mississippi or they wanted to go
Now
to the
they was
school?
out of the state. Out of the state. I never forget when Dr. Jones, 2 years after I got here, uh, I was on the farm. And then one year that the guy that Mr. J.P. Salter, he was over nearly 70 some years old, and a pipe busted one weekend. And they asked me, my uncle started bragging on me again. He said, my nephew know how to fix that. Mr. J.P. Salters, uh, I went to the plumbing shop, and he the one taught me plumbing, Mr. J.P.
Wow.
Salters. And the thing about that is, when people see you interested in something, they'll go overboard for you to help
Yes.
you. But you got to make for sure yourself that you're interested in it.
Now, did how many students was at the school? How many? I mean,
Back
that's a lot
then,
of grades.
back then, when I got here, it was over 500 students here. And as you read the book of Mississippi, American Mississippi, and the professor, you know, uh, the first blind school started here at Piney Woods School.
I got
That's
you.
what people got to realize what's happening over there.
I got you.
When I got here, we had the Cotton Blossom Singer and a quartet. Boy, they could sing. And I never forget this lady that was saying named Mary Thomas. Uh, she was real kind of heavy like, but if you were standing outside the room and hear her sing, you would think it's Mahalia Jackson.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then after that, while I was here, Dr. Jones, my uncle used to drive Dr. Jones around, and that's how I got to. Again, he told me I knew the state where to go to.
Yeah.
But guess what? I actually didn't. But how I learned, guess who taught me? Dr. Laurence C. Jones.
Right.
And he was a man that uh, when people donated stuff to the school, at that time, you can remember, he never bought nothing new for him to ride in. He rode in everything that somebody donated to him. I never get that Cadillac, the one that got that little butterfly on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I used to start out driving him around. And a lot of times when he catch the train or go to the airport, most of Dr. Jones rode the train and the buses. He wanted to get near to people.
I got you.
Now, one time I went and picked him up from the train station. And one thing Dr. Jones did, when he came back off a trip, we never did come straight back to Pontywood. We always, he stopped at business around him. He sat down and talked to them. And he told me one day, he said, the reason he do that, because somebody might be riding down Highway 49 and say, what that place back up there got that white fence? He tell people about him, and people spread the word.
I got you. I got you. I got
They
you.
spread the word.
I
And
got
that's
you.
what it's about.
Yeah.
They spread the word.
Yeah.
And if you got to be, what to say, your neighbors, you got to be neighbor to your neighbors.
Yeah. I got
And
you.
that's who help you out.
Yeah. So now, yeah. So how many? So what? How far up in Pineywood did you go? Did you go all the way to
Look,
junior
let me
college?
tell you what. I went to Pontywood up to freshman of college because they was they start cutting the sophomore, and I finished freshman of college at Pontywood.
So let me ask you this. So then you went and then you did they have a graduation ceremony? Did you do
Yeah,
it?
let me tell you how the graduation ceremony used to be every year. But first, I got to explain this to you.
Yeah.
Even before you go to the next grade, starting at the 7th grade, before you go to the next grade, the lady by the name of English teacher named Dr. Challen, you had to learn to say a speech among all the students in the gym, and she'll practice you with it. And what she done, she be sitting at the back of the gym, and she tell you say, you be saying your speech, and she holler, and if you break a verb or say something, she holler and say no, no, no,
Right.
and she get it straight. You know the first speech I made in the gym at Pontywood? Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, sir.
I have a dream. And that's what inspired me. And Dr. Jones did tell me one thing. You know what she said? Never look at a certain person. Look up over their head,
Okay.
and they thinking you looking direct at them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why that grows me. And I can look at you now and tell you, hey, it don't shake me no more.
Right.
And I admire those people. And then after years come along, Dr. Jones, every time a student got ready to graduate on that stage, they had to perform what they was done at Pontywood, like the cooking, the plumbing, even had a tractor on the stage, small tractor on the stage. People that children took up sewing and stuff like that, typing. Back then you didn't have nothing about no computer,
Yeah.
typing and stuff.
Let me ask you this: So you lived at the school. Did you go home on the weekends?
No,
Or
no. Let me tell you how that done.
yeah, how'd it go?
You stayed at the school. You didn't go home at the weekend. Mm-mm. Your parents back in those days, your parents couldn't afford to come and get you like we do now.
Yeah, sure.
Think about it now. Your parents could not afford to
So
come
when
get
did you finally see your parents?
you. Look, I was a blessed one. By my uncle, Silas O'Neill, was from Essequibo County, and when he go home, that's how I go with him. But a lot of kids couldn't. Like on the holidays, like we didn't go home on Thanksgiving. They had Thanksgiving dinner here. They had Christmas dinner. The kids that didn't afford it. And one of the good thing about it, I never forget. We used to for the cows, dairy cows. We used to raise dairy cows. I used to plant sorghum and stuff for the dairy cows, the silage. We had to gather that silage before we could go home for Christmas on it. But
Wow.
a lot of people couldn't afford to go home on
What
it.
did you do for fun? I mean, did you
Hey,
get the
guess
weekends
what?
off or
For
something like
fun.
that? Did you get
Hey,
a
guess
chance
what?
to
Guess
kind of
what? For
court the
fun.
girls? How did that go?
Listen, when I came here, the dancing that you had, we were square dancing. Remember all that?
Okay.
Square dancing. And you had to stand from a girl 5 feet on it. You know, you still had fun. Remember, you have to have fun in your mind. Now, you weren't allowed to sit here like say for instance, high school, and you walk along be hooking up with a girl. No, you couldn't do that. Uh-uh. That wasn't the policy of Piney. It taught you respect. Even not only that, girls that back in there, you had to wear your they had to wear their dress way below their knees on it. You didn't have this. What they taught was say have respect for yourself, and when you have respect for yourself,
But were you able to leave the grounds? Was there like a party store? I mean, not a convenience store somewhere that you could
no,
walk to?
listen,
Could you go fishing and
no,
could you
not
ever have
fishing,
any time by yourself?
no. We was us men was raised and ladies was raised here. Every move we make, we had somebody around us that taught us how to grow from childhood to adult on it. It's taught us. Back in those days, I used to say to myself that, wow, these old folks is hard on us. Give me time for myself.
Yeah, right.
But guess what? As I look back on it and I look today, guess what? We done lost tomorrow. Think about it. Look what we done done.
I got you.
Years ago, at home at Rolling Fork, and I live probably actually in Essequibo County. You know what? You might hear old folks say this. They would come to your house when you gone. All you had to look crook over the door. They'll see you the next couple of days and say, what? Miss Size, I came to your house and I got a drink of water. Never bother nothing.
Really?
Never bother nothing on it. And now what? You're not even safe now with a lock
Yeah,
behind a
yeah,
locked door.
yeah. I got you. I got you. Did you Oh, what's another? Is there a tuition to go to Piney Woods? How do kids get there?
The kids got there from other people went to Pineywood. And they got to Pineywood when others say, my child went. See, here's the problem sometimes people looked at. They say, a parent might say, I'm going to send you to Pinewood. You acting bad. That wasn't what it was. People had the wrong stigma of Pinewood.
Oh, I got you. I got
They had the
you.
wrong stigma of it.
Okay.
Because I wasn't acting bad. I just got thrown out of school. I didn't want to go back to the school where I were. I
I
was a
got
bad
you. I
kid.
got you. I got you.
But Pinewood taught you respect. And they had strong rules.
Okay, let
They
me
had
stop you right
strong
there.
rules.
You
Huh?
said strong rules. Would you get a whooping, or if you did
No,
wrong,
we
what
might
did they
not,
do
but
to you?
no. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what happened to me one time at
Yeah,
Brogdon.
yeah, there you go.
All right.
Tell it.
I'll never forget. I was over by the academic building. A lady by the name of Miss Shed. You know, you had the adults be walking around. And I kissed this girl.
Uh-oh.
I kissed this girl. You know what happened?
Now, hold on. How old were you at this point?
At that point, I was about 16 or 17.
Okay, so yeah, your hormones is running.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I kissed this girl. I never forget her name was Nora McLawn. And if Nora around, she remember this.
Yeah.
God dog it. They called me in. They took me into the disciplinary committee.
What they gave you?
You know what they gave me? An axe, a pick, and a shovel. There was a big stump around right in front of the boys' dormitory. And they gave me that pick and shovel to work on that stump.
Okay, I got you. That was your punishment.
And that was a lot of the punishment.
Yeah,
I was out of school for a whole week, but I still had to get my lesson.
Yeah.
But guess what here?
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Made sure nobody caught me.
Brother, we're gonna stop it there because let me ask you this: when did Dr. Jones die, and how did that ceremony go?
That was in the 70s. In the 70s, but I think I can't name it's about 90 in it was 2000, not I'm sorry. 95. I can't exactly recall it, but it's there. And it's on the grave, you know. But guess what? Dr. Jones did compared to me. I looked at it every day, and I wake up, and I think about what that man taught me.
Yeah.
And I could see him sometime in my dream.
Woo.
His philosophy was head, heart, and hand.
Yes.
The head for knowledge, the heart for love, the hand for know how to do a trade or something.
Yeah.
Because think about it, and I'll leave you with this. What everybody's thinking, everybody gonna go to college. But guess what? Everybody ain't going to college.
Yes.
Somebody gonna have to do some work. And we fail to misunderstand this.
Yeah.
I know some people now got a college degree, don't have a job.
Yeah.
But look around it. Somebody got to clean, and you got college people cleaning.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah. Sure.
Everybody ain't going. As long as you have respect for yourself and do an honest day's work.
There you go.
See,
Unbelievable. I'm gonna stop you right there. We can go on forever. I thank you so very much for taking your time out, for being the guy you are, for doing what you've done to share this with the people who gonna watch this video. You blew my mind. I thank you out of the bottom of my heart. I'm a big city boy. I don't know. I'm coming down there to Piney Woods when the virus is over.
But come.
I'm coming to Piney Woods. I got to see it myself. I got to see it because, for a while, and I guess it might still happen, there were national radio commercials talking about Piney Wood and the fundraising. And so that's how I heard about it. And then when I did the research for my book and my movie, that's how I found out about it. Everybody, you have watched a video that taught you some good information about this school, about the man, about this gentleman on the channel, and your heart and your head and your hands. Yeah. I tell you, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button, tell somebody about Strong Informations. Brother Roosevelt, thank you so very much for joining us today. You stay safe.
Hey,
keep that mask on safe. Like you did.
Hey, there you go.
Stay safe. Tell everybody around there, stay safe. and I will be back at you. We out. Thank you.
Thank you.